Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming to this festival. This is the beginning of a new year. We count here from the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So for us, this is a new year. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, who has appeared as a devotee to teach us how to be a devotee of the Lord, how to be a pure devotee of the Lord, and also how to be happy by being pure devotee of the Lord. So, after saying few, I would say, introductory words about the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya, I would like to speak on the 10th chapter of the Antya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is a book written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and it describes life and teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there is another book called Chaitanya Bhagavat, which also describes, and these authors, they didn't want to overlap and write about the same things, but then one was describing in more detail one part of the pastimes and another part of the pastimes. So Srila Prabhupada has chosen Chaitanya Charitamrita to translate and make comments, and we are so lucky to have this book. And it's a multi-volume book. Originally, I think it had 17 volumes, but now it has 9 volumes, sometimes English version, and I don't know in German how many volumes. In German, how many volumes?
Same.
10 volumes.
Same like English.
So in the Adi Lila, which is first part of Chaitanya Charitamrita, in chapter 3 and chapter 4, it is described, there is described external reasons for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya and internal reasons for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. And this morning we spoke in the temple upstairs about one of the external reasons, and this is to spread the holy name. To spread the holy name of the Lord as a Yuga Dharma, as the process of self-realization and God realization for this age of Kali, especially for this fallen age of Kali. And then one of the internal reasons for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya was that he wanted to taste the mellows of the love that his internal potency, Srimati Radharani, is actually experiencing and tasting. And he has seen that Radharani is enjoying more than himself in devotional service. So he is the Supreme Lord, he is the Supreme Enjoyer, but actually somebody else is enjoying more. And that was his internal potency, his female counterpart, Srimati Radharani. And he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, and it is said that these two personalities, who are eternally separated, Radha and Krishna, have actually appeared as one, as Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, who has appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And her mood is described in the Antya Lila, where Antya Lila chapter 20 is Shikshashtakam prayers, and also in the Adi Lila chapter 4, which describes internal reasons or confidential reasons for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. And her mood is mood of unconditional love. Her only focus is happiness of Krishna. And she doesn't mind also being unhappy if Krishna is happy. So we cannot understand that. Sometimes there is some selfless love in the material world, like a love of a mother. A mother is ready to sacrifice her own enjoyment and her own comfort and her own interest for the comfort or how you say, protection and the pleasure of the child. So I would say the most selfless love that we can see in this material world is the love of the mother for her child. Most other loves are more like business and exchange. But sometimes people love another person so much that they sacrifice for each other. And they don't mind suffering, they don't mind being in pain because they love someone. And Srimati Radharani, she doesn't mind suffering if Krishna will be pleased. So this is the highest level of consciousness. Unconditional love, unconditional giving, unconditional service. And now it may look like that this person is actually suffering by sacrificing, by undergoing some pain because of the other person that she loves, but actually she's enjoying. She's enjoying serving her beloved. And in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that when this is also like first-class marriage counseling. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says when there is an ample means a lot of ample reason for separation, but still separation doesn't take place, this love is called pure. When there is a lot of reasons to separate, to fight, to have a conflict, but separation doesn't take place, because why? Because love is stronger than the conflict. So I think every one of you who like to have a loving relationship with a husband or wife, man or woman, you would like to be able, in the time of conflict, to actually let love rule. Let the love rule, and that you that you are able to have love being stronger than the conflict. Love stronger than conflict. So this is possible with people who have high consciousness, people who have spiritual consciousness, that love is stronger than any kind of disagreement or conflict or quarrel. And maybe you have this experience that you love someone so much that even if you fight, even if you insult each other, even if you hurt each other, but still this love or attachment is so strong that you actually don't want to leave. You still want to stay together. Now, this is different when you tolerate somebody's torture because maybe of money or some other material reasons, but the reason why someone is staying, even if it's difficult, if the reason is love, that love is pure. That love is pure. And Lord Chaitanya has so many loving exchanges with his devotees. And this 10th chapter is called Lord Chaitanya Accepts Prasad. He accepts Prasadam in the houses of devotees. So Lord Chaitanya would go, he would be invited by the Brahmanas, he would be invited by Vaishnavas to take Prasadam in his house. He was like a traveling mendicant. And he was supposed, as a sannyasi, he was supposed to eat little. Sometimes he would be criticized that he eats a lot. So then he started to eat simple and to eat little. And sometimes he would accept, and sometimes devotees would actually object. Sometimes devotees would object that they are bringing so much food and so much offering, and he is not eating. So his secretary, Swarup Damodar, he would put actually this food in storage, like a little bit cold place, so that it doesn't go off. And this will accumulate. Can you close the door? Can you close the door? So this will accumulate, and after some time, devotees would ask Swarup Damodar, did he eat my preparation? Did he eat my preparation? And he would have to admit that he didn't. It's in the storage. So please ask him when he will eat it. And Swarup Damodar, as a sensitive, secretary, he wouldn't always ask this. He wouldn't always disturb. Huh? Yeah, but you can translate really softly. So he wouldn't always mention this. He wouldn't always say this. That devotees are asking, where are the preparations? But one time he felt really obliged, and he asked him, devotees are asking, when are you going to eat their preparations? And he said, oh really? So they are not happy with this. They are not happy that I have not accepted their offering, I have not tasted their offering. And he said, yes. Okay, let's do something about it. So they went to the storage, and he ate everything at once. So God doesn't have digestive problems. We eat a little bigger plate, and we have so many difficulties digesting. We have to wait also. Then after several preparations, we lose the taste because we have too many tastes. And he doesn't have this problem. He always can taste a variety of food. He's so lucky to be here on God Purnima. Already singing. So in this way, the devotees would become pleased. Oh, he has eaten my preparation. Imagine you prepare something with love for someone, and they just put it aside. So you would not feel very good. You would not feel good that they put it aside. But they would like them to eat it. And you would also like to know, do they like it? And what was the taste? Do they like it? No. Anna? Okay. So, but in this way, he would like to please his devotees. And then they would have kirtans and get tired. And also, when you have a lot of kirtan, like for hours and hours and hours, you also get hungry. So what they would do after the kirtan and after they get exhausted, he would encourage them to take rest, sometimes even to sleep, but also, very important, to eat. Because by eating prasadam, they rejuvenate their energy and they get more energy for more kirtan. And this very simple process, very joyful process. So you can see that only God can create something like this. Simple, sublime, very effective, very pleasurable, makes everyone happy, and extremely powerful. So create such a simple process. Chant, dance, eat. If you're not into philosophy, you don't have to listen to philosophy. Just chant, dance, and eat, and you will get the result. So he would do that. And and then one time, what happened is that he took rest in his famous room where he had a lot of ecstasies and a lot of crying for Krishna. It's called Gambira room. But this time he happened to actually lay down and fall asleep in the door. So in the way, you can't come in and out, it's difficult. And I just discovered verse 8 from this 10th chapter of the Antya Lila. I discovered verse 8, which describes what happened in the pastime that is coming later, actually, when verses 90, I think 10, 100, 90 or 80 to 100, 20 verses, which we will look into a little bit. But it's like indication that something is coming up later in this chapter. Agya palane krishnera yache paritosha preme agya ahangile khaya koti sukaposha. Koti sukaposha means millions of times more happiness. So, because the Lord is also supremely naughty. The Lord is supremely naughty. He's unpredictable. He likes to tease and make jokes. And listen to this. If one carries out Krishna's order, Krishna is certainly pleased. But if one sometimes breaks his order due to ecstatic love, that gives the Lord millions of times greater happiness. Can you imagine that? It doesn't mean one becomes sinful, breaking his order. But out of ecstatic love, and we have this beautiful, wonderful example later on of Govinda, his servant. So Govinda happened to be in the Gambhira room, and when the Lord fell asleep, he was supposed to go out and bring a chadar or a blanket to cover the Lord so the Lord is not freezing. But we don't step over anyone. That's offensive, to step over a God or a saintly person. So, of course, Govinda is a very advanced devotee. He knows all the rules. So first he was supposed to take prasadam, and he didn't want, for his own sense gratification, to step over the Lord, because this is the rule, to not step over the Lord. But later, when he saw that the Lord is freezing, he stepped over the Lord, he broke the rules. He broke the rule so that he can serve the Lord and please the Lord. So we see that these are like finer sentiments of Vaishnava livings, and that somebody may be attached to a rule. Somebody may be attached to a rule, but actually you can break the rule if the higher principle is supposed to be fulfilled, and the higher principle and the main goal is to serve the Lord and to please the Lord. So Lord Chaitanya has arranged for this kind of pastime so that actually his devotee can be glorified, and to show to everyone that the purpose is, there is a higher purpose, even sometimes higher than the rules and regulations. So there is a rule not to step over the Lord, but he broke that rule. He broke that rule so that he could actually protect the Lord from cold or to please the Lord. So this is how how the devotee thinks, and he will take all kinds of risks. And it is said that the Lord is pleased when a devotee takes risks for him, and especially to spread his message. So what we are learning, like this book, there is so many volumes, and we can call this book a love manual. A love manual. It's a book that teaches us very finer aspects of love, of pure love. The problem with our love, so why we are not satisfied with our love to other people in their love to us, we are not satisfied because this love is not pure. And Krishna's devotees are teaching us how to have pure, selfless love. And actually what we are trying to do in this Krishna consciousness movement is to develop unconditional love for the Lord and for all of His children. So unconditional love means you don't put conditions. You're giving without expecting anything in return. And love, when you expect something, that love is not pure. It's more like a business approach. That I want to give you something, but I expect you to give me something back. And of course, love means reciprocation, but the attitude of a giver should be that the giver doesn't expect anything in return. Why? Because the giver is happy by giving, happy by pleasing the person that he or she loves. And Srimati Radharani and Lord Chaitanya, in the mood of Srimati Radharani, has this amazing attitude. So devotee is ready to sacrifice his own interest, his own comfort. So how do you know? How do you know that you love someone? What kind of attitude you have? What kind of readiness you have? So you may give me many answers to this question, and I will not now make a survey here. But we can say that if you are ready to sacrifice your personal comfort and self-interest so that your beloved person can be protected and can be happy, then you know that you love someone. Otherwise, it's easy to say I love you, 3 words. But the question that comes after I love you is, what are you ready to do for the person that you claim that you love? And especially when we need to do something that is difficult to do. And we see that you don't have to prove to anybody else, but you can see yourself whether you love that person. And I have mentioned, I think last week also, but many of you were not here, so I will repeat this little story. There was a couple, husband and wife, who had 3 children, 2 daughters who were normal, and the son who was autistic. And the boy, whole day the boy would do like this. And he wouldn't register anybody who is in front of him. He wouldn't communicate with anyone. Sometimes if they show him food, he would take some food. But mainly he would do like this. And they went to so many doctors, and doctors said his case is very difficult, he is very ill, and he cannot be cured. He has to remain like this his whole life. But parents, they believed that actually he can get better. And they loved him so much that they invested 9,700 hours working with him so he can get better, and trying to help him to start communicating with the world and start communicating with them. And it happened that sometime he started asking for a juice or something. First time when he asked for something, because he never asked for anything, it was a huge celebration. They really got happy. He asked for juice. And then, so they tried so many things to cure him, but actually it didn't work. And so his mother, I don't know if she prayed to God, but she got an idea that worked. So she tried to be, when you're empathic, you're trying to mirror the other person. You try to reflect that you understand their feelings, and you understand what they're talking about, and how they feel, and what they think, and what they want. You try to reflect. And so the mother got this idea that she should also do like this. So she started to shake with him together. And after some time, he started to look, why are you doing this? He started to notice her because she was doing the same thing. So she was so empathic. So empathy is so powerful. Actually, with empathy, you can get through to almost to a wall. If we are empathic to the wall, I think the wall will start to notice you. What to speak of human being? So she started shaking, he started noticing her, and slowly, over many months, he started to actually communicate with her and say something slowly. And now this boy is the director of the Autism Institute. So he is helping people, he is completely normal, and the whole movie, there is a movie about this, true story. The movie is called The Miracle of Love. The Miracle of Love. So it's amazing things people do. Amazing things people do. And in this book, there is also a story of Vasudevadatta, who is also a very beloved devotee of Lord Chaitanya, who was asking him, mighty Lord, you always have a solution, but you don't see it. The solution is here. So, mighty Lord, how will all these simple living entities be delivered? They are so much immersed in sense gratification. So please, I want to volunteer, he said, I want to volunteer to take upon me all the sinful reactions of their simple activities so that they can be relieved from suffering. So can you imagine that? Let me stay forever in the material world and suffer the reactions. So who can think like this? And Vasudevadatta was a singer in Vrindavan previously. He was also a family man, but he didn't know how to manage his finances. So Lord Chaitanya appointed another devotee who is a good manager to manage his finances. So he was absorbed in chanting and serving the Lord. And he had this mood to actually sacrifice himself for every living entity. That means he saw everyone as the child of God, and he wanted to do something concrete for them, which is a huge thing. To take all the simple reactions. So this is Mahatma, or a great soul. And also, Lord Chaitanya would glorify Haridas Thakur. So Lord Chaitanya would like to serve prasadam to his devotees with his big hand and put food on their plate. And also he would like to glorify his devotees as if he has 5 mouths. Like some people like to criticize as if they have 5 mouths. You know gossip? You know what is gossip? Gossip means you speak behind person's back. When they come, you smile, and when they're not there, you speak bad things about them. So we have all done that, but it doesn't make us happy, and it doesn't make this person happy. So if you at all have to say something bad about someone, then make sure that you say only things that you would say in their presence. That you would say in their presence. But actually better tell them, if you think that they should change something, don't speak to others behind their back. So as Lord Chaitanya would glorify Haridas Thakur and other devotees as if he has 5 mouths. Lord Chaitanya would like to put garlands on devotees. He really enjoyed this. Put garlands on his devotees, like I got garland from Prabhuji. And in this way, he would really like to glorify his devotees. He's not God who is just laying down and just enjoying that they serve Him, but He does the same service for devotees. Lord Krishna would wash the feet of Sudama Brahmana. He would show how to respect the Brahmanas, and he would put him on the very expensive bed. I think it was the bed of his bed, the bed of his queens, and he would put a bowl and he would actually wash his feet. He would wash his feet. Jesus also was washing feet of people. So Krishna wants this love in exchange and service and exchange through service. And so the Lord just wants a love in exchange with us. He doesn't want to be like a dictator. So Lord Chaitanya has appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, which is her love is completely devoid of lust. Her love is completely pure, and her love has nothing to do with mundane love or mundane lust. Lust is compared with iron, and love is compared with gold. That's the difference between lust and love. And in this world, people mix lust and love. Even devotees sometimes mix lust and love, but these are not the same thing. The difference is as the difference between the iron and gold. Between iron and gold. So the only thing that can make us happy is we develop this attitude of unconditional love and unconditional giving. Giving without expecting anything in return. And now you may say, well, I tried to do that. How many of you have tried to give unconditionally? Okay. So you may try to do that and you may tell me, look, I tried to do that, but people take advantage. People take advantage of this. So I stopped. So my advice is a little line with a rhyme. Give, but don't be naive. Give, but don't be naive. Serve, but don't allow people to take advantage of your kindness. So if you notice that some people are taking advantage of your attitude, your kindness, then you have to stop. You have to let them know that they cannot do that, they cannot cheat you, they cannot exploit you. Because it's not also good for them. They are getting bad karma by this. So, but you are always ready to serve, ready to give. If people become nasty, then you have to show them that this will not work. But otherwise, you don't have to be afraid to give, because the more you give, the more you get. So you can give even more. And you can get even more, and you can give even more. And this is the exchange. This is the exchange. So in our Krishna consciousness movement, we are trying to practice 6 loving exchanges. Dadati, pratigrinati, guyam akyati prichati, bhumte bhujate chaiva, shadvida priti lakshanam. Giving prasadam, accepting prasadam. Lord Chaitanya has exemplified this. Then giving gifts, accepting gifts. Lord Chaitanya has exemplified this. And confidential conversations. Revealing one's mind and listening from others. How they reveal their mind. And in this way there is confidential conversation. Guyam akyati prichati. Guyam akyati prichati. So, Lord Chaitanya also had confidential conversations with the public. He would speak very simple philosophy or no philosophy, only chanting, and with his confidential devotees like Ramananda Raya. And this discussion and conversation is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also. He had very confidential conversation on very high confidential matters in relation to Krishna consciousness and relation to devotional service. So we are trying to offer people to give something. And Srila Prabhupada said, I didn't come here to take, I have come here to give you something valuable. And he has given so much. And Krishna has given him a great success. during his life, he has opened 108 temples. And Srila Prabhupada is a real representative of Lord Chaitanya. He has been completely surcharged with the Shakti or power of Lord Chaitanya. And thanks to him, we have this festival. Thanks to him, we know about Lord Chaitanya. And thanks to him, we can enjoy by glorifying Lord Chaitanya. So Srila Prabhupada we are grateful to Srila Prabhupada on this day that we can have this one of the most important festivals in the year and the beginning of new year called Gaurabda. Here Gaura is Lord Chaitanya. And in this way we want to continue purifying our heart, making spiritual advancement, glorifying the Lord, and inviting many people to actually get benefit from what we are also trying to do. Thank you very much for listening. Do you have any questions? One question? The best question? Who has the best question? Oh yes, yes.
One more time, please tell the reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world and external and internal reasons.
I gave only two reasons. One external is to spread the holy name, and one internal to taste the love of Radharani. And if you want to say, maybe you can also say, or you just want to know. But you need to get the microphone if you want to say. Is there a moving microphone? No. Okay. Okay, anything else? So thank you so much for coming to this festival, chanting so enthusiastically during the Abhishek. And now there will be Kirtan, isn't it?
No, we have a surprise.
Oh, there is a surprise, which is, actually I cannot say what it is because it's a surprise. And there is actually several surprises, but this is the first surprise. Yeah. And we are very grateful when people come. And my one request is next, if you like this festival, next time bring all of you, each one of you, bring 5 more people. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.